The 1986 film Little Shop of Horrors is a horror comedy musical film that is based off the 1982 musical, adapted from the 1960 film Little Shop of Horrors. From the 1986 movie theaters release, the film had positive feedback from the audiences, and when the movie had its home video release a year later in 1987 on VHS and Beta, it became a smash hit. Being a musical film adapted from a stage play, the movie excels at what it intends to do. The film as a whole keeps that stage play feel despite being made for the screen. From the sets, to the lighting, to the slightest details within the choreography, Little Shop of Horrors 1986 potentially surpasses the Broadway production in certain areas, but not all. There are many things the stage version does better. For example, Steve Martin's character, Orin Scrivello, who is the sadistic and abusive boyfriend of Ellen Green's character, Audrey,
Audrey, where'd you get that china?
misses and lacks the comedic timing of the presence of his character, Orin, until his musical number Dentist in the film. Of course, cuts may happen with adapting stage plays for the screen, but all in all, the film does its job in a fantastic way. One way the film excels is in its musical score. It does this by showcasing the voices of the ensemble and the sound of the orchestra in a greater light. When you compare most of the recent Broadway recordings or even the original 1982 cast recording to the original movie cast, the instruments sound much brighter. In the film, the instruments sound fuller and polished, giving more depth and complexity to the sound of the musical numbers. In contrast to the duller sound of the instruments in the Broadway recordings, the more lively and upbeat sound of the instruments in the film recording brings a richer sound. Specifically in the scene for the song Skid Row, Downtown. The sound of each of the ensemble members' voices shines through and everyone's distinct voices can be heard. This creates further intricacy within the ensemble and orchestra in the musical number. With the chance to create such a fleshed-out score for the movie soundtrack, the film showcases the capabilities and lengths taken to make an adaptation that can provide an even greater musical aspect. Another way the film lives up to its adaptation of the stage play is through the creation of the set, camera work, and details with the choreography. The director Frank Oz and team made the creative choice to use a built set rather than a regular neighborhood, as it was thought shooting on location would mess with the fantasy mood of the film. Through his choice of shooting in studio and using built sets, it sold the look and feel of the movie as an adaptation and not just a musical film, making the film feel real enough but not too realistic in its surroundings that it kept the look of a stage play set. There was no CGI, green screen, or digital effects used throughout the production of the film, keeping the raw feeling of a stage play when it was translated to the screen. As the team used no CGI or green screen there, 3 different scales of Mushnick's flower shop were built, and when it came to operating the Audrey tube plant, there were 6 different sizes of the plant made. Doing this allowed production to work on different sizes of the plant simultaneously. The puppetry of the plant and other elements in the film were also phenomenal. Through the execution of the camera work and choreography, the film further enhances this idea of the film as a stage play just with close-ups. This can be seen during the song Skid Row, again, when Seymour is walking through the crowd of people. Even the slightest detail to how the ensemble walks on and off the sidewalk is choreographed in a way that would usually be executed on a stage, rather than have them just casually stroll down a street. This visual depiction can also be seen during the opening number Little Shop of Horrors, when the chorus girls Crystal, Renette, and Chiffon are seen on a balcony singing. The look of the set with the camera work and choreography come together to create the feeling of watching a stage play in the film. For a movie adaptation of a musical, Little Shop of Horrors 1986 goes above and beyond to make a better viewing experience for those who are unable to afford to watch a play on Broadway. It showcases how well an adaptation can be done, giving it the title of one of the greatest movie musicals made, potentially outshining the Broadway production. Blurring the line between a stage play with Frank Oz's cinematic execution with adapting the musical, Little Shop of Horrors 1986 gives the feeling of having a theater unfold right before your eyes.